What is going on, gentlemen? This is Sir Yeetus, and this is episode 80 of Yeetus' Thoughts. Imagine that, gentlemen. 80 live streams already. Goddamn. The grind don't stop for Sir Yeetus, and the grind doesn't stop for the Warband. But before I begin the topic today, I gotta give you guys a few updates. All right. People constantly ask me why I stopped using PayPal. I just didn't like it. I closed everything down. I closed it down. It wasn't up to my standards when it comes to protecting the person receiving the money or giving the money. I don't like that whatsoever. You know, um, I don't want a situation that happened when it comes to the GoFundMe situation. If you guys get what I'm talking about, somewhere in Canada, you know, if this information war spirals out of control, we want to get to the point where they go after your bank accounts. You get what I'm saying? Want you guys to be discreet as possible. Currently, I do plan on getting myself monetized in a few days. I'm gonna see if I can do it again, right? See if they don't deny me again. And there will be a big reform to my channel. After this live stream, I'm going to be deleting a shit ton of videos and fixing a lot of other videos for copyright. Because that's their main issue when it comes to Susan, right? All the shorts I do and all that crazy stuff, they believe that I'm just reusing content. And yeah, I used to months ago. So as long as I'll get rid of that, I should be good to get monetized on YouTube. Then you guys are able to donate a lot easier than going to a third-party website. Okay. Because I don't want your good deeds to be punished down the road, especially with things going on right now in the world. I don't want you guys to deal with that. So if I can get monetized, that'll be phenomenal. That you guys can literally donate at any time you feel like it. And also, there will be updates to the live streams as well. There's going to be a lot of changes within a couple weeks. I'm really hyped for you guys to see it. All because of you guys' generosity with your previous donations, there will be a lot of changes. It's going to look good. It's going to look good. I just got to put it together and get the final pieces. Then my streams will look more professional. It's going to get hyped. Thank all 5,871 of y'all for supporting me ever since I started making content. It's been a wild ride so far, and we're definitely just getting started. The Warband is just getting started. All right. Before we start the topic, I'm going to be adding the one, the only Gray.
Good evening. Or afternoon, I guess. Not quite evening.
Oh, shit. What's going on?
Doing a little bit of experimenting in OBS, making sure I've got everything set up right. So, yeah, we might have some content coming of that later on.
Oh, yeah. You still planning on doing the channel thing?
Yeah. So, getting just bunch of stuff set up, figure out different bits of content. So,
see, the biggest thing for me will be editing. I need to learn how to edit a lot better, or I need to get somebody to edit because I suck ass at it. I can't edit for shit.
Well, we can talk on that later, actually, because I've done a fair bit of that in the past. So
really,
yeah, I'm just out of practice right now. So we've got a couple bits of content that I'm going to fiddle with, including one of the upcoming projects. So,
we are definitely going to be talking about that later because the video quality can be improved tenfold. If editing is implied to it, it'll keep the person's attention. It keeps them watching the video. But regardless, with the topic today, right? The information war. Since
Indeed.
I'm talking about this, why are you talking about this, Sir Yeetus? Why? Because ever since the Ukraine and Russian war, there's been a lot of back and forth when it comes to propaganda information, right? And the first casualty of war is the truth. And that is definitely true, right? But I am applying that ideal to what's happening between MGTOW slash Red Pillars versus the feminazis and simps. We've been going at it for decades. Decades. What do you say about that, Gray?
I'd say decades is like at the low end. I mean, reckon well over a century at this point.
Well, if you want to count, all the way back to 1919, yeah, I agree.
Well, even before that, right? Like you can pull up old political cartoons disparaging feminists, so you know this was a conflict going.
Also, you're talking about when the feminist idea was born.
Well, back when feminists were called suffragettes, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I see what you're saying. So they rely heavily on making men gullible, making men dumb, making men confused, brainwashing men ever since birth. All right, and I'm not talking about ever since the late 19th century. I'm talking about when modern feminism came about, where it dispersed to radical feminism. It gets to the point where they actually start from birth to brainwash men to be weak, to be fragile, to be effeminate, to be emotional, to just obey, to just be a good little cater boy that will cater to all my needs, starting from your mother all the way until you get married. And then you get divorced, and they marry again. They get divorced again. It's a never-ending cycle, and all this is solely because of information, right? But what they didn't expect, the huge backlash, a huge backfire. They didn't expect social media would play a giant part of waking men up and giving birth to the mass exodus, the mass renaissance of the MGTOW red pill philosophy. What do you have to say about that, Greg?
Well, that's where it gets interesting, because I think this is where they made a mistake when it comes to men and women. Because, all right, so we look at, let's say, women, for example. They are fairly malleable, because all you have to do is put a big enough signal out there that this is what is socially approved of. And women will go for that, because above all else, women require social approval. Men, on the other hand, like, you can tell a man to be weak, but you also have to tell him why he should be weak. For men, you always require incentive, a reward.
That is true. We don't just submit that easily compared to women. We aren't built for submission, in the sense of, oh, okay, I'll just follow the crowd. Men don't do that.
So exactly. So that's where it goes to the next step. You have to give the incentive. And the primary incentive, well, we can't necessarily give complete social approval, but we can offer female approval. Be weak, be emotional, because women want it. If you just told men to be emotional, but didn't add the because women want it, men wouldn't care what you have to say. You have to add that incentive.
I agree. And Light and MGTOW, good saying. Women are easily misled. They're the weaker vessel. That's why the serpent went to Eve, not Adam. I definitely agree. Because Adam will question the motives. Adam will be like why? Like, I was told by a higher authority to not do it. Who are you? I'm not doing it. Eve, just a few sweet nothings, already fell for it.
Well, here's the other thing. Like, I think that if you went to Adam with it, what he'd end up doing is he'd go to God and check with God. Be like, hey, God, the serpent said that this is the stuff with the fruit. You got anything to add in on that?
Like, God fucking damn it, Lucifer. Oh, shit. But, yeah, I see what you're saying, you know. But the incentives that men will have is females will approve, and, you know, men will believe that they will have access to the poonie tea. So they listen to these horrible dating advices, right? Like, oh, just be yourself. Oh, I like a guy with a great sense of humor. Oh, I don't like jerks. I want a sweet, beloved man. Ugh. Like, what do you think? What do you say about that?
That's the thing. That's the incentive that you toss in front of men. And this is the problem, because if women actually liked that stuff, then it would work.
Right.
If women actually liked weak, emotional, compliant men, then it would work. But they don't. On a deep biological level. And you can't you can't program a woman to like that kind of man, because women primarily run on feelings. If you tell women you should love this for societal approval, all they'll do is hide their lust for Chad.
Exactly, because they already know Chad, Tyrone. We're gonna add in Pookie and Ray Ray. They're not gonna be staying around long term to commit. They know this. They know Chad. He has countless other options. Why would he commit to anybody at this time?
Well, and those that don't know find out pretty damn fast.
Exactly, and then that's why you get these ex-feminists or these chat thoughts say like, oh, I know the error of my ways. Yeah, I was wild, I was young and dumb, but I am now ready for a good man.
That's the thing. The trad thoughts are just trying to make their biology socially acceptable again.
Bingo. That's a big point that I was about to get into. I said, okay, I was thinking, why are men constantly falling for the same BS, even though it's been proven time and time again that what the women are advising the men to do in order to get some puniti, it's not working. Again and again, it's just not working. Why are men continuing to do this? I say mass gaslighting on a societal level.
Yeah. Like, that's the thing. The gaslighting happens, and this is where you get the information war. Because, like, the red pill and whatnot, they come into the battlefield typically after a man has already been under the influence. Like, it's very rare to get red pill information to a very young man. That we're hitting teenagers at all is fascinating. It used to be you didn't actually get the info until much later in life. But we always have to go in on the assumption that these men, well, they've experienced all the traditional stuff. They've seen the Disney movies or the harem anime, or like they've looked up various bits of dating advice.
Or looking at those People magazines saying a million ways to please your woman type shit.
Oh God. Yeah, that's the thing. So like they've grown up on all this information, but then they encounter the block in reality where, hey, doing this isn't working. And so they go and seek out additional information. And that's where they either run into more blue pill stuff and start doubling down, or they run into red pill content. And now they have conflicting messages to deal with.
Right. I definitely agree with that one. Island Hermit, I do not have PayPal anymore because I decided it's not really an ideal place for people to exchange currencies. I don't want the similar situation happening in Canada, where they, dig into your personal information and cancel you through your finances. I'm gonna see if I get monetized on YouTube, but if not, I plan on switching over to Cash App, because at least in Cash App you're able to seal your identity a lot better.
that or we should get into crypto.
Give me some crypto coins. Donate, but donate me in crypto. Like, wait, what?
Honestly, that would actually be a discussion to have, talking about crypto options. But beside the point.
Well, if you're gonna show, hold up. So I just put up the thing right now then, because I was gonna wait until later. But besides that, when it comes to the gaslighting and say, oh yeah, men, you need to do this, you need to do that in order to get access to Prenezi, even though it doesn't work in the first place, right? And then but they ask like, oh, why is it not working? Why is it not working? They'll just gaslight. They'll say, oh, you're not doing it hard enough. Or you're not trying hard enough.
And that's where men are told, okay, all right, well, I'll double down. I'll simp harder. And they go at it over again. And this is where you get like these really hardcore simps and white knights, because they have repeatedly reinvested. Like, it's like you go into the stock market, you invest in something, you lose all your money. And then you go back and you reinvest in the same thing and you lose it again. Eventually you get the sunk cost fallacy where you're like, well, I just need to invest in this again. I just need to go back and reinvest in this casino or whatever.
Right.
And it just keeps crashing. And you're like, well, no, it fucked up. But next time it'll do it and I'll recoup all my losses. Honestly, you could probably like put down periodic simping to a gambling addiction. There's probably some similar chemicals at play there.
Yes. Men, especially, well, I want to say men, simps, they actually have this hope factor. That's a big issue that they have. They are raised so much on this woman instincts, right? They tap into their emotion more than logic, like we talked about before. Women, they rely on possibility. Men, we rely on probability. So now these men are like hoping that eventually they'll find that one that won't do them dirty. That'll be his downfall.
Now, the thing is, Big Boy's actually making a good point, because there are women who, after they've been run through, will look for a simp and commit to them giving them like that positive reinforcement. But it's not 18-year-old virgins that are giving it to these giga simps. It's typically a cougar.
Exactly. And once again, it's not because she wants him. Just remember that, gentlemen. She is settling for this gullible simp that has a little change. Because, of course, being that age as a cougar, no man of value is going to commit, that value his masculinity, his confidence, knowing that he can get a girl a lot younger and way less damaged. She is settling for these simps.
Well, that's where you get the hardest ones to convince, I think, are the alpha simps. Because they, like, the guys who have been at the top due to, their hard work, but a lot of genetic factors as well. And being nice has worked for them, but they think that it's worked for them because they've been nice, not because they're over 6 foot and can bench 200 pounds easily.
That's true. They're the same ones that won the genetic lottery will tell average men, oh, come on, bro. What are you doing? What are you doing, man? It's not that hard to get girls, bro. What you
Yeah, you just got to be confident and funny. It's like, motherfucker, you're 6 foot tall, fucking 230 pounds,
chiseled like a Greek god,
fucking single-digit body fat.
Has the jawline gifted from Jesus himself.
Like, you are literally the fucking Giga Chad meme, and you think that any guy can be you if he just emulates your personality.
Exactly. That's what that's a golden ticket for these model women, is having a alpha simp.
Yeah. Well, I think that might actually be part of the funny thing. If we told them, it's like, look, you can have your Chad or Tyrone, but only if he acts like a simp. And if he gets burned too many times, then he's going to become your stereotypical Chad Tyrone. You're not like, you don't want to get a Chad Tyrone. You want an alpha simp. And the problem is, your alpha simp, they can easily turn into dad bods.
Easily. And that's the biggest thing, right? All the lying through their fucking teeth because, of course, there's some political correct bullshit for them to look good. The feminists, they do not know. They do not want a goddamn dad bod.
No.
They do not want a nice guy. They don't want a guy with a good personality and all that bullshit.
They don't want a standard man in his mid-30s, like a Hollywood actor that isn't actively. I think it was Jason Momoa that I saw this as. Like, basically, there was a vacation photo taken of him where he didn't have his chiseled abs because he's on fucking vacation. And a fucking feminist who was at best a 6 said, like, oh, there's room for improvement here. Hey, bitch, this is like one of the top 50 most attractive men in the entire world. He stops being on the freaking Hollywood hardcore diet for a couple weeks, and you think that you're in any place to fucking criticize him?
Yeah, it's crazy. But the biggest
fucking women think that 6-pack abs are just something that you can maintain all the time, especially post 30. Is like, no, you got to be on a fucking cocktail of steroids and typically lose a shit ton of body water weight to maintain it for a day or two.
Right. It's very unrealistic. You drink some good shit?
Yeah, I got some ale here.
Yeah, I got some good ass headphones. I love it. So here's when the information war. They thought the information war was won, right? And throughout, the decades, ever since at least modern feminism, late 1960s, early 1970, the movies that are being put out, they have to be subliminal about their red pill messages or MGTOW messages. They couldn't outright say some crazy shit because eventually they'll get canceled. And it's still happening till this day, even though it's less frequent.
Well, and even so, if you're going to have a MGTOW red pill message, typically it's like it's the asshole character or it's the villain.
Yeah, they want to make men look stupid, look dumb, incompetent.
Well, no, that's that's the thing. I can't think of too many films I've seen. I kind of missed out on a bunch of the really good movies. I'd say, like a bunch of the classic ones where you could actually have, like what was the one? Like the one movie with, I think, Jack Nicholson, where he was asked, how do you write women so well? And he says, I start with a man, then I remove reason and accountability.
Shit. I know what movie you're talking about. Let me see.
Yeah, like I'm pretty sure that was at the very least a movie that came out in the 80s.
Okay, let me see. As Good as It Gets?
Yeah, that sounds about right.
See, and that's the crazy part, right? And there's TV shows as well, with the one with Al Bundy, right? Or any TV show that has a good father figure, like a strong father figure.
So sorry, just I'm checking. Yeah, As Good as It Gets, 1997 romantic comedy drama. Jack Nicholson is a misanthropic, homophobic, obsessive compulsive novelist. Like, that's the thing. He's given all these negative tropes by the standards. And so he can get away with saying that kind of stuff
Right.
because he has a negative trope. Actually, there's another one I read about. Let me just look this up real quick. So I read about it when reading up on story structure. Let's see.
TV shows as well, though. TV shows as well, especially the one with Al Bundy. Okay, Uncle Phil. Uncle Phil was a big one from Fresh Prince. Yeah. Yeah, he doesn't hold back on his wife, sons, or daughters, or his nephew. He tells them how it is. They don't do shows like that anymore. Tell me a TV show that's out there right now, if you still watch TV, that actually does that. I don't see no strong male figure in TV shows nor movies anymore. You know, the only time we have some strong figure if it's like some crazy action movie, some crazy, explosions or something. But when it comes to resembling like a nuclear family or anything, no. No, they usually make them look dumb. Like the most recent one that I seen was Black Widow. I was kind of getting irritated with Black Widow. The father was a fucking doofus. I know they did it on purpose.
Well, of course they do. Like, honestly, let's be honest. Most of the people who can get into Hollywood nowadays, especially the writers, they've probably never had a positive male role model in their life.
Yeah, none. They truly don't know what an actual strong masculine man is. The only thing that they can get it from is like the media, social media. That's where the information war comes from. Like, for example, when I went overseas, they either assume I'm a rapper or an NBA player. I'm like, what the fuck? No, I'm neither. I'm just some black dude from the States.
Well, yeah, that's basically it. A bunch of the States. They're all either NBAs or rappers.
He must be a rapper. Like, no, I'm not. Oh shit! But regardless, so I know the information war truly went into hyperdrive back in 2014, right? When the social media was getting bigger and bigger every day, and people like Sandman, TFM, I forgot a couple of other old school, Venture McTow.
Oh, Barbarossa.
Barbarossa?
Yeah, he was old school.
Oh shit! Yeah. There's just one other channel, but all these old school channels, they led the first assault, the first attack in this information war. They actually went out there to do not be around the bushes. They didn't try to sweeten up the words. No, they let you know these modern women out there, they ain't shit. They're not shit. The states don't give a fuck about you. They give a fuck about what's in your wallet. Why will you still continue to play in this rigged game? The best way to win is not to play. So men are like, I
think a big part of that is the same illusion as you see with the lottery. Like, how many times do people have to lose the lottery before they realize that it's not worth it anymore? No, they're gonna keep going. So many people will keep going and keep buying lottery tickets, flushing hundreds, if not thousands of dollars down the tubes for what is basically a guaranteed loss.
Guaranteed loss. See, that's what I'm saying. And the main issue is the hope factor. They've been raised since birth to not think logically primarily. It's, oh, there's plenty of fish in the sea. You just didn't find the right girl yet. You just need to keep looking. She's out there.
But that's the same again. But that's the exact same logic as oh, you just need to pick the right numbers, bro.
Yeah, I'm like, what? Like, how the fuck am I? Like, all right, like it makes no sense. What do you mean? Just trust me, bro. Trust me. I'm the best source you got. Just trust me. Like, okay, and that's the big thing that I have an issue in society in general, right? Um, prom, promiscuity is so rampant in today's society. Majority of these women do not have what we want in order to have a long-term relationship. No hymen, no diamond. And that is just the tip of the iceberg of what's going on in the dynamics of dating. Because the information are fed to the men, oh, you need to get married, you need to do this, you need to get the white picket fence. It doesn't matter if she's a hoe, her past doesn't matter. And then the very same information is being fed to these women, especially in these indoctrination camps, aka colleges. Oh, you the boss bitch. You do what you gotta do, man. You need to be strong and power independent. Men, why you want these XY chromosomes to be able to infiltrate your lifestyle? They're nothing to you. They're below dirt. You need to go out there and be the best motherfucker out there. Be the boss bitch. Be the greatest female, whatever it is. Fuck a family. Fuck marriage. Fuck having anything. Okay, you keep working until you die. Cause why? Cause sisterhood. Like what? And that's the overall premise of this information war on the feminist side.
Ooh, that actually puts it together. The mistake that women make is they think they can turn social approval into male attraction.
I'm like, no. In fact, they're projecting the things that okay, how do I explain it? Because since they're trying to imitate men so badly, right? Because Shalom envy, they've gone to the point where these strong, bad, independent women, whatever the fuck they want to call themselves, are projecting the attraction of what a woman would like, right? So since they have all these accolades, since it's so bad bitch, it's so masculine, they honestly believe that that's what men will accept. That, oh yeah, I have my own money, I have a PhD, I have my own car, my own house, I pay my own bills, blah 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 blah. I don't even know why you're bragging about being adult, but whatever.
But I think that's the key. They believe that not just because of projection, because they've been told that, and it lines up with their emotions. They are told, oh, men find these strong women attractive. And these women go, well, I find it attractive, so I see no reason that this should be wrong.
Right. I'm like, what? What?
That's the thing. Like, how, like, by the time a woman hears, no, men care more about your loyalty, chastity, and modesty. Like, for every one voice that tells them that, there's 10, if not 100 voices telling them the exact opposite. So they're going to go along the lines of social approval and be like, well, if 100 people tell me that strong, independent women who don't need no man are desirable, then I'm going to be a strong, independent woman who don't need no man. Doesn't matter how many men tell me one way.
See, yeah, that's the big issue, right? Yeah, it's crazy about the information war, right? Because once again, women are very, very, what's it called? They love to run with the crowd. It's social approval. They will do whatever it takes to have a good light within society, right? So whenever a male XY chromosome tells her what men actually want, she doesn't even have it in the first place. No modesty, no femininity, no hymen, Nothing. She doesn't know how to be a mother. She doesn't know how to cook. She doesn't know how to do anything to take care of the household. Right? So that is already going to be a red flag in her mind. And on top of that, because of her indoctrination, she's like, what is this male telling me what he wants? Okay, I know what he wants. And then when she explains, no, this is what I want. It's all about servitude. It's they want the man to be the slave to her.
Yeah. Now, keep in mind, though, this is also why red pill men constantly have to be demonized and brought to lower state. They have to be brought to a lower status because the status of the messenger matters a lot. Like if Dr. Phil or Oprah or Beyonce, if they get up and say something, they're a celebrity. The woman is going to want to follow the advice of celebrity. But imagine if Henry Cavill came out tomorrow and publicly said, like live, oh, I'd prefer a debt-free virgin without tattoos.
Oh, the hysteria will be crazy.
Well, but here's the thing. There would be hysteria because a lot of women can't meet that standard. But the ones that can, few that can, would want to. And they'd be more inclined to. Because a low status man can say whatever his preferences are, and women don't care. But if a high status man does it, then it matters.
Exactly, because he has a leverage.
And that's why men with those values cannot be allowed to reach that kind of level of society.
Yep, I definitely agree with that one, man. God damn. Well, you put it that way.
Like they need every high status man and woman to be marching in lockstep with the message. Now, a high status woman saying it, that would be effective to a certain point, but it's still no guarantee because a woman, because that's the thing, like, a woman can't really benefit from a woman's advice that way. And it would be very easy to say, oh no, she's just trying to sabotage you by keeping you less experienced in the bedroom.
Which she's most likely is.
And maybe, but if a high status man gets out there and says, yeah, I prefer debt-free women without tattoos. I'd much rather go with a Starbucks barista or a woman who's stayed at home writing or knitting or learning how to be a good wife. Well, true. Leonardo DiCaprio, he's very much the example of a man whose words and actions are incongruous. I don't know if he's said that much about what he wants in a woman. He clearly doesn't really have any intention of settling down. Well, probably because he knows he doesn't have to.
Right.
But you look at his actions. Right? That's the thing. If a woman says, like, men love strong, independent women, it's like, then why is Leonardo DiCaprio never having a girlfriend over 24? He can have any woman he wants. That's what he picks.
But his actions say otherwise. I know there's plenty of women that don't like Leonardo DiCaprio. I mean, older women.
Yeah, older women. But God, actually, that brings up a funny thing. This would actually be funny. I want to know, how old was Rose in Titanic? Oh, she was 17. Okay, yeah, that's well within his age range.
Yeah, they were both around the same age.
Yeah, in Titanic. But I was just thinking, like, would Rose have actually been someone that actually Leonardo DiCaprio would have gone for? Like 17, yeah. Yeah, he would have tapped that.
But now you see their age, right? They're both the exact same age.
Oh yeah, he wouldn't go for it nowadays. That's for damn sure.
Yeah. It says they're the epitome because I know they do meetups once in a while, right? Like
well, and that's the thing. Like Titanic was the most romantic movie until 50 Shades of Grey came out.
Yeah, but when you see them like getting older and older, Leonardo and that other chick, they're the perfect example of men age like fine wine, women age like milk.
And keep in mind, like these Hollywood women, like, money is no object for many of them, unless they blew it all. But they've got access to the best makeup, the best trainers, the best diets. Like if a Hollywood woman can't keep the wall away, what chance does your average woman have?
Yep. They how you say, yo, what the fuck? Hey, repeat that. I was reading something.
If a Hollywood woman can't keep the wall away, what chance does an average woman have?
Oh, she's fucked. Because I already know, I guarantee you J-Lo spent millions on her looks alone.
Well, part of it too is they live that Hollywood life. Like a lot of work with vices. Like, let's be honest, if a man drinks a shit ton, and I mean an absolute shit ton of booze and does hard drugs, yeah, his body goes to absolute shit. Like a man does have to perform some basic maintenance.
Yeah,
But,
or he eats a shit ton of unhealthy food. His body's fucked.
yeah. Like women are the exact same way. And Hollywood women, I mean, alcohol consumption is basically water to them between all the social events that they need to go and all the elbows they need to rub and all the bedrooms that they need to go to get in the next Hollywood Weinstein.
Yep. You bring him up.
God, sorry, I find it hilarious that Weinstein is put as the like he's the ultimate patriarchy white man supremacy. He's like, Weinstein ain't white.
Oh, he's not.
I just honestly next time I want to I can't wait for a woman to bring up like Harvey Weinstein as like white men being a problem in Hollywood. And be like, he ain't white.
Yeah, it's getting ridiculous to the point where, you know, they didn't really expect social media to be all up in their face, these model women. And model women, I don't know what the fuck is going on. Like, I'm surprised but not surprised on how they literally air out all of their bad behavior and decisions online for everybody to see, caught in 4K. And they act shocked when men don't take them seriously. I mean, bragging about being a 304.
Yeah, no, that's where it gets interesting because women are constantly having to choose between the two loyalties, the loyalties to society and the loyalty to a man.
Right.
And like if they've tried for a man, I have to think they usually hoe themselves out before they run into a decent enough man. Let's be honest.
Yeah, and that's how it's been. You know, it has always been that way for women that were not raised properly and kept a close eye on. That's what they go do by default, unless there's some authoritative figure keeping her in check. Because men per se, we eventually knows that it doesn't matter if it's from the home or society. Somebody's going to hold men accountable. Women, on the other hand, especially 2022, nah.
Yeah, like it's always a question of like, do you want the cops to beat your ass or do you want your dad to beat your ass?
Right, because either or, it's not a good time. It's not a good time at all, you know. And like I said, for the 50th time now, because I think this is like the main focus on why the red pill on MGTOW is having like a gigantic surge throughout the world. Why can holy books from thousands of years ago are pretty much saying the same thing we're saying right now?
Well, I think that's the biggest problem is that like the information war was at its most effective prior to social media and the internet at large, because there was a one-way information control. And since you effectively isolated and destroyed any space for male gathering, you couldn't get men comparing notes.
Right.
So it was just the messaging. And by the time a guy realized that everything was fucking rigged, he was either of low enough status that no one took him seriously, or he was married.
That's true. That's definitely true. And when it comes to information not being as available, it's way difficult for men to find the truth.
And that's like the messaging came down. But then two things happened. Number one, social media allowed men to compare notes. But more importantly, it exposed women's true natures far faster. Like every woman that openly posts her hoish behavior, like think about how bloody long it would take for that to happen. Like for a man to find that out about a woman, like in the 70s or 80s or 90s.
Right.
Like usually you don't find out your wife is a whore until you're being served divorce papers.
Yeah, and that's when it's too late. The man just blindsided out of nowhere. I remember posting that meme back. There was a divorce from the 1940s, where the woman literally has no emotion, no remorse, no nothing. He was just staring at him as pathetic while he was begging her not to leave and take everything.
Or you don't find out your wife's a whore until the baby comes out a different color than you.
And like, wait a minute. Why is his eye slanted? Why does he have fine hair? This is the same. This isn't right. But it's in my family. Bullshit, bitch.
Your family was gingers. You expected me to believe
He's gonna come out as Asian. Who's the ling you were licking on? Oh shit. So with the rise of MGTOW Red Pill on social media, just blowing up like crazy, they really got these feminist simps, etc., lashing out, because at first they didn't take us seriously. They're like, "Oh yeah, incel," and now we're pretty much around the world.
Yeah, well, and that's the thing. It's not like men don't red pill other men. Women red pill men.
Yes, I agree. Like we don't.
If it was just men comparing notes, then the whole, well, he just had a run of bad luck or found the wrong woman, that argument holds water if it's just men comparing notes.
Right.
Because you're never going to get a large enough sample size of men to convince a blue pill simp. However, if that guy goes and he finds that basically every woman he's ever known has a triple-digit body count, then he might start listening to the men who've been giving him notes.
Yeah. That's how it's supposed to be. But when it comes to these women lashing out, literally mainstream media, I think it started back in 2018 is when they really started to talk about the MGTOW Red Pill people, right?
I think it was I think his name was Big John, actually got on CNN talking about it. You remember that? I think that was late 2018, early 2019.
Yeah. And also there's what's that one show called? The View?
Yeah, The View.
They talked about us.
Oh.
Yeah, and there's plenty of big time YouTubers talking about us. And there's what's it called? Women literally creating accounts just to rant and bash on us. Like, who are these teaching these men to be so disrespectful towards women?
I think if you want to, you know what? If you want to red pill a simp, you don't send him to the red pill subreddit. You send him to female dating strategies.
Oh man, see, it's insane, right? It's got to the point where not only we're dealing with feminists and simps now we're dealing with the POAs and coaches because we're fucking up their pockets.
Oh yeah, that's because they thrive on the blue pill message,
Right.
and they know how to appear successful with women, and that like to your blue pill man who's frustrated, that works. It doesn't even need to be a lot. Like if that guy's got like a fucking 5, like anywhere between like a freaking 5 and a 9, that's willing to sit with him on camera and smile and give approving gestures towards him. Oh yeah, that's all it takes. And that hits the confirmation bias. It's like the guy was like, "Oh, I was doing this wrong and this wrong, and this is what's wrong with my attitude. Okay, yeah, I can just follow this guy and be with it."
Right.
Not realizing that, dude, that guy's just paying the woman to be with him.
It is cheaper to keep her, right?
Well, no, it's more so like when you realize how little it takes to convince a porn star to take fucking shit up her ass. It's like, yeah, being able to freaking smile and approve and not approvingly on camera, that's pretty cheap.
And who is this? Damn it, wrong one. Hold up. Remember, your coworkers are not your friends. Bingo. I agree. They could be your, you can, chat here and there at work, having a good time. But I highly suggest that you don't talk to people about this information outside of this space. You do not. That is a big no.
Yeah, no, it's especially if you have an HR department, because then you are fucked.
Completely fucked. Completely. Hell, I said one sentence in front of my family that was red pillish. They like, what? What did you say? How dare you? All I said is I don't want to date old hags. I want a young woman. What?
I find it can be a little better received if A, it's only men, and B, you phrase it as a joke.
No, because my mom, she was trying to like, oh hey, I got these girls and my coworkers, they're single too. Why don't you go talk to them? Why won't you? I'm like, no, I don't date old hacks. What did you say? Like, what? Yeah. I don't want older women.
No, that's the thing. But like you're saying it to a woman, like you gotta. I think so far as coworkers are concerned, if you're lucky enough to have an all male coworkers, then you can get away with some red pill jokes.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying, but it's my mom, so I don't give a shit. Like she needs to understand because what I do will affect her as well, right? Because what I do when it comes to this LTR, long-term relationship BS, will be in her benefit if she wants to have any grandkids or whatever. And I'm telling her right now, first off, I ain't looking, and second, I ain't dating old hags. I'm not. They're old to me. I don't want to. They can't even have babies safely at their age.
I think the safest way to put it is like, Mama, it's got to be a young wife.
She knows.
Like, no. Let me finish.
Shit. Hey, I'm not being political correct with my own fucking mother.
I'm not. No, I'm saying. Sorry. Let me finish the sentence, and then you can.
What's up?
Off. It's like, no, Mom, it's got to be a younger woman, so I don't have a downy kid, because then the medical expenses would have to go to them instead of to you when you need to retire.
See, that's the big thing. She knows all of this. She knows it. She knows how it works. Based on her line of work, she knows all this. Yet No, she freaked out like, what do you mean? What do you mean you won't date older? I'm like, that's exactly what I meant. All right. Like, you acting like I'm a teenager and I said grab her by the puniti. No, I ain't dating old women.
It's like, Mom, have you been trying to pimp me out to your coworkers?
See, and that's a big thing. Mr. Pliskin trying to hook you up with single mother. I guarantee you, there's single mothers that's her coworkers. Guaranteed.
And she probably talks about you and your successes for approval from them, and so they've expressed interest. Like, ooh, is he single?
Literally, I'm like,
she's probably trying to extract social proof by using you as a fucking bait.
But why else? Why else would she even ask me that in the first place? Because they're definitely asking, right? And I'm like, no fucking way. I am not going to do it because once again, gentlemen in the chat as well, you need to understand, red pill is not just for women you're dating. It's for every woman, even your own mother. Okay, because you see what she's trying to do. She ain't doing this for my own benefit, right? She's only looking out for number one. She is the one that wants grandkids, right? And not even looking after the negative consequences that her own son will go through. She doesn't give a fuck about that because in the end, that won't be her problem. She just wants to be that fun, goody grandmother, right? Which I don't blame her because that's pretty much what all parents will want, right? Grandkids. But hey, she's been out of the dating market for like what, 20-something years now? So she can't comprehend what's going on out there right now.
To be fair, she's a woman. She could never comprehend what's going on right
now. Yeah. And two, the fact that she disregarded how I did not want to date older women, how she disregarded my preferences. And she just like, oh, they're nice, they're good women too, blah, blah, blah. She's out for herself, all right? Even your own mother, I repeat, chat, even your own mother will use you for her own benefit. Just think on that.
Yeah, don't believe that playing with fire guy. Like, oh, mothers have unconditional love for their children. It's like, no, they fucking don't. They're the number one killers of their kids.
Yeah, do you know how quick she switched up on me? She went all happy to like pissed off because I'm not doing what she wants as a good old goody two shoe simp boy that she thinks I am still. Like she thinks I'm like, no, I'm not fucking doing it, right? And me not doing it is gonna hurt her in the long run. Like, damn, if he doesn't go out there and try to get with the girl right now and get married and have that white picket fence, I'm never going to have grandkids. Remember, gentlemen, it's only for her. That's why I really didn't give it two shits about how she felt on the situation, because even though she's my mother, as a man, I need to put my foot down. I'm not fucking doing it. At least not here, not in the West. I'm not. I'm not as nice of a guy when somebody's trying to push their agenda on me. So I'm just putting it out there. Even your own mother, your own sisters, your own aunts, your own female cousins, you always gotta be aware of their nature, gentlemen. Always. But big boy, what age you plan on going to the East for a wife? Maybe 40, 45. 40, 45 years old, if I even still want a wife at that point. Because her whole, purpose is just pretty much passing on my next, passing on my genes. Right? Because as a man, that's pretty much what I want. But ain't no fucking way I'm going to be caught in this mousetrap that we have in the divorce and family courts here. Fuck that. So it's going to be a huge change when it comes to the dating market, gentlemen. And these feminists these simps, these PUAs, etc. They all know this. They know this. That's why they're lashing so hard. That's why there's a little civil war happening in the manosphere, because more and more men are waking up. Various people that rely on simps and their resources are losing money. They can't keep the lights on.
Honestly, I'm still gonna think that. Well, actually, no. That's an interesting question. Thinking about it, how much crossover is there between e-thought customers and PUA customers?
None. We compared them a couple streams ago to OnlyFan women.
True. Not something. But I'm wondering, do they actually draw from the same audience? Like, let's say, yeah, the OnlyFans customers versus the PUA customers. Is there a lot of crossover there, or are they mutually exclusive consumer groups?
There's crossovers, definitely crossovers. Because if they're looking at these thotties, these Twitch dots, they're definitely watching somebody's OnlyFans. Oh yeah, and the POA's goal is for them to like, hey, what are you doing? You need to get some puniti. Stop looking at the screen. Don't simp for them. You simp for me. You give your money to me. Don't give your money to them.
Do PUAs attack OnlyFans?
No. Because
why not?
Technically make themselves look hypocritical. Because they're both pretty much doing similar things to take resources out of men's pockets.
Yeah, but okay. Your biggest problem with that argument is, since when have PUAs given a shit about being hypocritical?
See, but that's what I'm saying though. That's what I'm saying. They don't care as long as they're not called out. This is a new phenomenon that, you know, a good amount of people, because I know it's been happening for a few years now, are calling PUAs out. So as long as they're not being called out, they won't give a fuck about being hypocrites.
No, I think actually, no, it's probably to do with status. Because, like, again, on the scale of the internet, like to the average normie, let's say, MGTOW is not considered high status.
Yeah, to the normies, yeah.
So a PUA can attack MGTOW, and while MGTOW will strike back and really fucking hammer shit home and careers, which is nice.
Literally.
But MGTOW is still seen as a safer target, because if you go after MGTOW, you just have to deal with the MGTOW. If you go after the OnlyFans, you have to deal with the simp brigade.
Yeah, and what makes people like, you know, the Warband or various other red pill MGTOWers that make content is they can't attack the person physically, because that's their whole niche of the PUA shit, right? Oh, what do you look like, bro? Oh, do you have any gains? What's your body count? Which body count, bro? Don't talk to me until you have 1,000 bodies.
Like, and I do agree with LOM that, yeah, PUA are scumbags, but in the eyes of the non-critical thinking normie, they're still slightly above. Like, they're like, because they're men and they're not super famous, high established men like they'd like to make themselves look like, they're still below women on the normie scale of oppression. Like, yeah, but it gets safer to attack a PUA than it is an OnlyFans girl, and it's safer to attack a MGTOW than it is a PUA. At least until a MGTOW until the MGTOW claps back.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of incels either, right? In a sense of the stereotypical incel. All right, I'm not talking about the actual definition of incel. But the incels are like, you know, like, oh, I can't get pussy because, you know, women are demons. They're evil. I hate women, and women are horrible. fuck all women. It's a very extreme, pretty much the opposite of feminism, in my opinion. Because MGTOW Red Pill, we don't hate women. We don't hate women. We just call out their bullshit. That's it. Feminism hate men. Incels hate women. So let's put it out there.
Wonder how many. That's the thing. I haven't seen many, so I can't say for sure because I don't really spend a lot of time in the incel circles. But I wonder how many incel posts are false flags.
Oh, what do you mean by that? Oh, you mean somebody
pretending to be an incel just to get the content,
right?
Like if we saw a channel with someone saying like, "Oh, I'm a MGTOW. We should totally enslave women and make them do our bidding," and then 5 minutes later, someone goes, "Oh, MGTOW want to enslave women." Like, we have seen glowies pull fucking bullshit all the goddamn time. Exactly like that. They create their fucking straw man and then use it as an example to damage the group. I honestly would not be surprised if there's a good chunk of the incel community that's just a bunch of FBI agents talking to each other.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I agree 1,000,000% because they are already recently are trying to paint Red Pill / MGTOW communities as extremists. They said it on the mainstream news. They didn't say our name, but she pretty much implied talking about men that speaks out against women's bullshit. I could find the video because I showed it in my previous streams. She's literally saying, "Oh, we're dangerous. We're extremists. Oh, they hate women so much. Oh, misogynist." Ugh. On the actual news channel.
Now, of course, given the internet is a very vast place, it's entirely possible that there are actually guys legit posting this. I mean, we've certainly seen cringier stuff than that in our time on the internet.
Yeah, and I agree. Hold up. Wait a minute. Yeah, according to that woman, Lina MGTOW, wanting to be left alone, wanting to do your own thing and not follow the traditional role of a male, that passes off as an extremist, unfortunately. Yeah, that's how far they're going because once again, if they have more and more men adopting the MGTOW philosophy and literally walking away from societal norms as a whole, like literally just walking away, that's another ATM walking away, less income.
It is extreme as in extremely dangerous to society.
Yeah, they don't want men walking away from a massive scale because they know, even though they don't want to admit it and they never will because women, they know they need men to survive. We don't need them. They need us. Okay. We only need them to pass on our genes. That's it. I mean, need, not want, need. And these and women, since the dawn of time, need men to actually survive and be safe in a functional society. So, that got Pete. Some incels hate women. That is true, but not as many as you think. Most are just in their own rage or depression. But the gynocentrists want you all to eat each other and save them the work. Yeah, there is. See, that's an issue that women have, right? They always want to paint the small 0.01% of men, right? They want to use that small percentage, right? Chad and Tyrone, Pookie and Ray Ray, and then paint the entire male population like they're acting the exact way as Chad Tyrone. They're using the exact tactic here.
Well, and that's an interesting thing that Pete brings up because, yeah, all right, they can get mad and hate, but how long does that last? How long does an incel spout this kind of stuff before moving on to something else? Because like one post, fuck, like guys will post fucking stupid shit when they get emotional. Like no shit, that happens, and then that shit gets archived forever. And then it's constantly brought up. It's like, but that one guy didn't necessarily post the exact same kind of content repeatedly and frequently for months on end.
I agree. So, in the end, I agree with you, that guy Pete, because the same tactic they're using to paint all men as Chad and Tyrone, going around fucking like horn dogs, they're using that same thing with incels, saying, "Oh, all these men are misogynists. They hate women. They just want to look forward to beat women up and blah blah blah." It's a tactic that they use, gaslighting and shaming language on a societal scale.
Well, and that's the thing. Ideally, for the gynocentric society, they'd want to shame an incel into not being an incel, but instead going back to being a simp, where he's still an incel, but he's just not complaining about it.
Yep. Going back to the plantation, try their best to work hard in the plantation. I mean, work triple times as hard than the normie to get puniti, and that helps the feminists out even better, because they know the incel is going to have a lot harder time than the average man to get the quote unquote puniti. So they're like, "Oh, why are you being such a little bitch? Just go out and get pussy." And then they will literally have to work a lot harder than the normal dude, and that's going to work out for them even better.
Well, that's also the same point where, like, I'd say the top predators of incels would be the PUAs. Because they want to find guys in those highly emotional, highly vulnerable states.
Yeah.
And get them to, instead of going back to simping in the gynocentric way, they want them to simp for the PUA.
Are you tired of not getting pussy?
Oh god, sorry. It would actually be hilarious to cut together a false PUA commercial. And then what would be funny is it could probably make a really damn good one, better than most actual PUAs.
Seriously, like we can definitely make a parody off of this PUA bullshit. I swear.
Yeah, no, we definitely got to talk about editing projects like down the line, because there's some fun ideas there.
But hey, we pretty much got done through the majority of our talks. We're gonna start letting people in, right? Because Undead Chronic is getting on in 1 hour. I'm sure all you guys want to watch the Lord of Kush. All right. MC. Pace. If you guys can join, go ahead and join. Give us your thoughts, your ideals. That's what we're here for. We're here to talk. If we ain't talking, we get nowhere. I got Pete. The problem is PUA won't work for an incel. An incel fails because he looks a certain way, is neurodivergent, or not pre-selected. Things he can't fix easily.
PUA doesn't have to work. They just have to believe it's going to work for them long enough to hand out money. The PUA does not actually care whether or not his clients have success.
Right, as long as he buys the courses. Okay, I see what's going on. Oh shit, I thought I crossed out the street. Go ahead and keep going if you want to keep joining here. Come on. Go ahead and join if you can. Let's talk a little bit. I know we have one. I know he has a good amount to say. I saw his comments. All right. First, we're going to add England McTow.
Ooh.
Hey, fellas. How you doing?
What's going on? And I'm going to add Turtle. I've never seen you before. Turtle?
Are you
Hello.
fucking masturbating? What's going on here?
What the fuck? What is going on?
Is there a
Good.
serial killer in the room and you go behind in the closet?
I had to look behind my shoulder for a second. But hey, Turtle, you good? Okay, I had to. No.
Dude,
No.
if you gotta finish, fucking log off.
Yeah, what the fuck, bro?
Come
what
back.
the fuck?
I mean, at least when Chronic does it, we get the sound effect.
Yo, what up?
What's going on, man?
What I missed? What was that guy doing? I missed it.
He was just breathing real heavy. We didn't understand why.
Oh,
It sounded
shit.
like
I thought he posted some weird images or something, and I missed it.
All right, everybody stop. Everybody stop. The
All right.
one, the only, Lion of MGTOW.
Hey, Lion.
What up?
What's up? How you doing?
So, Angler MGTOW, he'll go first, then Island Hermit, then Lion of MGTOW. So, Angler MGTOW, you have anything to say about the discussion we've been having so far?
Yes, to Mr. Gray. I mean, no disrespect, but I've listened to a lot of these streams for a long time. You know, that's how I find my way into MGTOW, and I've heard you on a lot of these streams, and you know, you give a lot of pointed opinions, but you don't ever share anything about yourself.
What do you want to know?
How much you lift, bro? What's your bench?
What's your bench, bro? How much you bench?
What's your
The,
max rep?
the gyms are closed, and I don't have the equipment to do an optimal bench press, so I don't really know what I bench.
Calisthenics, bro.
Do you
No, I'm
believe
just
in
kidding.
CrossFit?
You all know that it's not anything about that. Okay. Now, if you want to take from a community, you got to give too. So,
Oh, okay, I see what you're saying.
what brought you here? You know, what have been your struggles?
Hey, what's your backstory, Gray?
Yeah. Bro, if that's hard to talk about, I understand, but you know, give it a shot.
Tell us your whole life story, Gray, right now.
No. What pretty much brought you into the Warband? You know, if you came to the Warband first, or Red Pill MGTOW, what brought you to this space in the first place?
Long-term relationship fell apart, and in a way that I'm honestly quite embarrassed to recall.
Hey, same here. You know, you guys pretty much already know my story. Yeah, that bitch laughed in my face. Never again. I was 18, so I learned. Very young.
Now, it was something where, you know, good. Like, it honestly sounds like a Reddit story. It's good for a while. Then there's some red flags. I ignore them. I let her get away with far more until I'd finally had too much, and I was like, yeah, there's no salvaging this.
Mm-hmm.
So got her out of my life. And then there was some very complex stuff with the guy she was with. And then I got him out of my life.
Right.
And that's more or less where I found it. I don't even remember the initial search that got me to Red Pill or MGTOW content to begin with. But I found my way here, and I'm listening off and on to a bunch of different stuff. I don't know, it just became kind of a regular listening habit.
Mhm.
And I liked Chronic stuff, and I liked him as an independent underdog sort of guy. So I thought, you know what?
Yeah.
Maybe I can help out a little bit here, because I've got an artistic background. So I've tried helping him with a couple different projects over the years, but he's probably known me by at least 2 other identities. So
Okay, Gray, I see what you're saying. Angler, are you satisfied with his answer?
Yeah, and I appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, man. No problem. Island Hermit, do you want to talk about what we've been speaking in this live stream so far? Like anything you want to say?
Well, first I want to say Gray, we're glad to have you in the community, brother. And it kind of reminds me of a story where, like, it wasn't like the red pill that sent me to, like, find the community, but it was like a kind of a fucked up red pill in my high school years. So my, like, serious high school girlfriend, get this, I was such a simp dude back then. We got, like, matching rings with our fucking names in it and all that bullshit. And then a week later, I found out she was cheating on me.
Yeah.
Tell me that isn't fucked. And then I found out she, like, cheated on me for, like, a 40-year-old dude for coke. So that's, like, fucked too.
Damn.
For cocaine.
Yeah.
Yep. Cocaine. Have you
was
guys ever
like-
seen the Trailer Park Boys?
I have, but
Yeah.
it's been a long time.
Sorry,
Yeah, it's
Sorry,
been a
I'm going
while
off
since
the
I
weed.
watched it too. But yeah, I was like 17 when all that went down. So
Hey, it's all good, man. Lion and MGTOW.
hold on, I got one more quick thing to say. But one thing I don't get about the incel guys,
No.
they bitch and complain about looks all the time, but they don't ever go to the gym. Like, you would think a group of people that complain about looks all the time would go to the gym. Like, yeah, you might not be able to change your height, but you can totally change your appearance, like, you know, for muscle mass and, like, if you know how much fat is on your body and all that. So I just don't get it.
I do have thoughts on that, but we'll get to that in a bit.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, Lion and MGTOW, do you have anything for this topic or anything else?
As far as the one second. As far as the pickup roaches, the opposition to this MGTOW philosophy and just this whole information war is concerned, I say keep on going. I mean, let's be real. The marriage rates have dropped. The fertility rates have dropped. Like hundreds of millions of dollars that were supposed to go to these jewelry stores and these bridal shops disappeared into thin air. It's working. And these feminists, these ditch pigs, these gene pool polluters and PUA flunkies can't stand that. So I say keep hitting where it hurts. That's the pocketbook.
Yep, this is what they wanted, right? They constantly say men are obsolete, men are not needed.
Exactly.
Men go to war and die. That's all you're good for.
Exactly. A hashtag kill all men. That stupid ass T-shirt. Boys are stupid. Throw rocks at them. Oh, that shit. We heard it for 6 decades.
And they're shocked that men are like, fuck this. Like, fuck this shit, I'm out.
That's gonna be the norm. That's why, like right now, over on TikTok, the trollops and certain sperm tourists are mad because men are ghosting them. I said, good, but y'all bitches made that the norm. Nobody had a problem with women ghosting men until men started ghosting women.
Mhm.
Tough shit.
What was that trend that happened a few years ago?
Yeah, it was called hashtag waste his time.
Yeah, waste his time. Yeah.
Back in 2016, I remember that.
They made that as a trend. A
Yeah,
trend.
Yeah, hashtag waste his time. Yes, I mean you give them your number to go out on a date, and then you cancel at the last minute.
And they're shocked that men now are saying "fuck you." Like, come on.
You know, they drove
Come
them.
on.
Yeah, well, they drove them to this. They drove me into this, and right now over on TikTok, and I mean, Casual Bachelor already covered this, but you see all of these June Cleaver clones popping up out of nowhere, just talking shit about feminism and saying how feminism does this to men and does this to women and all that. I'm like, look, it's too little, too fucking late. I know that your gas is expensive. I know that your food is expensive, but it's too little, too fucking late. It's time for you to roll up your goddamn sleeves and start thinking about your survival. You did it to yourself.
And that's the biggest thing, right? And social media. It's crazy how, you know, women, they tell on themselves so much to the point that on a large scale, we men just all right, just keep going, keep doing what you're doing. What do you put on social media today? Oh, twerking videos. Oh, bragging at how you threw a man in jail for false allegations. Oh, you cheated on your man the entire relationship and have a baby that's not his, but you have him on child support anyway, and you bragging about all this. Keep going. Let me keep giving you this rope for you to hang yourself. Here, Come on, just keep going.
Exactly, man. Exactly. They shot themselves in the foot and reloaded the fucking gun.
Like, I thought you learned the first time.
They're still going, man. They're still going. They're still going. And I mean, it's ridiculous, man. I mean, now they're saying, well, people are people are dependent on other people at some points in their life. I'm like, yeah. Now you're saying this because the gas is expensive. I know. You let it all out. Let it all out. Superman ain't saving shit.
Now there's more videos for the last couple weeks of women crying on video of how harsh it is by themselves. I'm like, you just had a slight taste, like a drop of what men go through on a daily basis. And you're crying about being a functional adult?
Yeah.
Really? It's not even about pretending to be a man. You're crying about having responsibilities and being accountable for your own well-being. Uh-oh. Accountability around the corner. Uh-oh. Here he comes. Where you running? Why are you running? Why are you running? Why are you running?
That kind of reminds me of the girl that transitioned into a guy and she was like crying because she didn't know how hard it was going to be. She thought life was going to be easier. And she's like, everybody hates me now. Nobody's nice to me. It's like, yeah, this is how it is every day for us, you dumb bitch.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That poor girl, she was taught wrong.
This is why if you watch Bill Burr, one of his stand-up shows, he said they always say that they want to be a guy, but they only want the good shit of being a guy. They never contemplate the bad shit about being a guy. They only want to say, oh, men have this, men have that, men have power, men have authority, men have too much of this. I'm like, do you know how much a majority of men have to go through to even get to that point and maintain that point?
Exactly. You're not born with any. You're not really born with any value. You got to go out and get your value. I mean, you got to soldier through the blood, sweat, and tears. You got to.
Yeah.
So you got to soldier through all that shit. I mean, even myself, sometimes too. I mean, you have like shitty days at work and so on and so forth. You get pissed off, but you want to be left alone. Just it is what it is. I mean, but they don't care about that. I mean, you go out there and get your value, and then they wait at the goddamn finish line talking about some. Okay, hand it to me. Fuck you.
Exactly. Imagine you busting your ass for decades, not years, decades to get what you're at. Because once again, in your late 40s, early 50s is a man's financial prime. It is what it is for majority of men. And right when you finally made it, you're financially secure. You're doing good. You're doing great. You're healthy. You're fit. You're dressing nice, and you just want to enjoy the fruits of your labor. You have some fat fuck 38-year-old single mother coming up to you acting like she has a chance. Like, what the fuck? What?
That shit's funny as hell.
Yeah, it's funny as hell, man. You can see him at Costco. Thomas, can I have your code? Why do you want my fucking code?
I made a video today that it talked about it's called Men's Trauma Part 2. And I kind of talk about, why in the fuck are men not allowed to have trauma? Why are they not allowed to have to go through that? Not be laughed at, not be shunned by society and all that stuff. But that's just another little tidbit I want to add.
Well, yeah, men's mental health is never taken seriously. Like, literally nobody, especially women, won't take it serious at all. They'll just laugh at you. They don't give a shit about a man's struggles or what he goes through.
Oh, no, they give a shit about a man's mental health 5 minutes after he's created 24 corpses.
Right. And here's a big thing, though. Like, people want to attack us. They want to attack us. They want to attack this group, Warband, Maytag, Red Pill. But you guys clown men with mental health too. I'm like, whoa, wait a minute. See, there's a difference of men bitching about the smallest, pettiest shit, like an emotional female, and actual mental health issues. There's a huge difference, and men can't tell the difference, okay? The only men that saying, oh, suck it up, buttercup, oh, you just need to man up, blah, 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 are mainly the PUAs and shit.
Yep. I think Gray just made a really good point. He just said that, men's mental health is not realized until after he's, how did you put it, Gray? After we shot a couple people?
Left a couple dozen fresh corpses.
Yeah.
When
or
it-
your
when it-
thumbs are in her eyes.
When
Yes.
it's pretty much just to keep it short. Just to keep it short.
Or when he turns him into rich topsoil.
Yeah. Just say hockey mask time.
Yeah.
That's it. Describing that on YouTube, not a good idea.
Well, no. That's the thing. I was being
Gotcha.
very specific there. It
Yeah.
has to be like I say, hockey mask time. They don't care about a man's mental health. Then it's only right after a cemetery filling, and even then, it's very short. Like they'll be like, "Oh, if you have problems or you're feeling a certain way, call in." Pure virtue signaling.
Yeah.
Ideally, they want more men to snap and pop off because then they can use that to tighten the screws.
Yeah, exactly. They need it. Then they'll have a boogeyman to point and look at and distract everybody while they continue to tighten the screws and strangle everyone out of existence.
They'd love
Yes.
to have more fucking publicity to shove out there and use as examples. They're stuck using the same ones from years ago.
But that's a delusional situation. Okay. Literally, once again, I always tell men, they don't learn until it's too late. Until it's too late, a woman will literally push a man over the fucking brink until you can tell when a man becomes like ultra serious, right? Like he's trying to go and hurt you. Only then they know that they crossed the line. And by the time that happens, they're 6 feet under because they honestly believe that they're protected by the state, by the cops or whatever. And they can just say all this shit wherever they want to all these men, saying the most atrocious shit until a man is like, you know what? Your female privileges have been revoked.
And
Actually, I think there's a scene in Fargo which illustrates that concept perfectly.
yeah. Yep.
Yeah,
You guys
know the
remember
scene.
that one Instagram model that was taking pictures in front of her dad's casket?
Yeah, that bitch.
How disgusting that was. Like, that's why I think they'll just do anything for validation. Like, you're literally in front of your dad's body trying to get clout on the internet.
Yeah, exactly. It's like the slope-headed bitch who was twerking in an abortion clinic.
Yeah, majority of my
Holy shit, I didn't
will,
see that.
majority of my will not be going towards the family. It will be going towards a good cause. That's just me. It's going towards something that I can help other men or other young men because they can survive, right? They can just the wife that left behind and the female family members, they can just go on OnlyFans, right? Get a little cha-ching.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Going to OnlyFans or continue to campaign to legalize prostitution, since nowadays it's more glamorous to be a trash bag than it is to actually drive fucking trucks or to keep society going. So yeah, they don't care anymore.
Exactly.
Right.
These men out here, they don't have the resources or the incentives like women do. Okay, women will always be saved. They have countless safety nets. Men, if they fuck up at least once, it's over. It's most like it's done for him, right? And that bad decision that he made will be hung over his head for years to come or the rest of his life.
So you talk about this stuff a lot. I mean, you're part of the Warband, and everybody listening. I mean, you guys all listen to this stuff. How do we? Goddamn, I'm at a loss for words.
What's up?
How do we? Do we just walk away from these women? I mean, which is what we're trying to do. The women are not making that easy. Or
I say go. I say we do that. Just block, ignore, ghost.
I say it's too late.
That far.
Yeah, I say it's too late. At least in the Western countries, it's way too late. It's there's no coming back from what we have right now because
I agree. Yeah.
Even when because I think I explained last stream, or was it the stream before? Even when things start to die down, right? Because a lot of these trad thoughts are popping up, right? Or these ex-feminists, and
Yeah.
Women are bad. Oh, courts are bad. Oh, we love our men. What's going to stop them from going back?
Nothing.
Right?
Well, and beyond that, like I do hear a lot like complaints every now and again, like, well, we're not offering solutions. It was like, okay, but to have a solution, you need an objective. And so,
Well, it's basically walking away is the solution because it's all we can do. Like, my last straw was the fact that they can fucking come at you with some bullshit from like 3 years ago and be like, he did this to me, and then you're going to jail with no evidence. And it's basically the modern day version of the Salem witch trials. That was my last straw. That was the main reason why I walked away. I'm not getting locked up because some dumb bitch made something up.
Yeah.
And hell, it doesn't have to be 3 years ago. It could be 30 years ago.
Exactly.
Yeah. No evidence at all, and you're gone.
I think that, Gray, I think that this solution and the objective has been laid out perfectly fine. It's been laid out in black and white print. It's just a matter of it being accepted or not being accepted. So,
What's the objective? Self-preservation.
Exactly. Your survival comes first.
And that's what men are very good at, adapting to adversity and danger. And right now, in 2022, the state and modern women are that danger.
Mm-hmm.
Very fucking dangerous.
Yeah, exactly. And they did it to themselves, too. I mean, yeah, the crying wolf and all that shit, it gets old. And we know that the truth hurts, but lies can kill. That's why I don't care much for this crying wolf. And I believe it was Emily Linden who greenlit the whole false accusations. I mean, she said so herself. You know, it doesn't matter if a few innocent men's lives are ruined. All that matters is the dismantling of the patriarchy.
Holy shit!
Yes, that's her. Yes, that's her greenlighting women to falsely accuse men of sexual misconduct. That's why I walked the fuck away. That's why I said block, ignore, ghost.
You saying the
Hashtag
divorce
lockout.
attorneys? Is that who you're saying? The divorce attorneys and all that stuff? Or
this is what Emily Linden said. She was like a teen Vogue like a panelist, or no, she was like a teen Vogue writer.
Right.
Like she
And
she said that.
But who's encouraging?
She was encouraging that. She said,
okay.
Yes, it doesn't matter if a few innocent men's lives are ruined or what message dismantling of the patriarchy.
And the
She
divorce and
basically said,
family courts. They
Tell a
also
fucking
do.
lie, ruin a man's life.
Yeah. And the divorce
Exactly.
and family courts does the same thing.
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly.
God.
Translation: lie and lie big.
Yep. Like what that certain Batman from World War II said. You say a lie, or you say it enough times, people will believe it. I can't say his name.
Yeah.
So yeah.
But you're the extremist because you walked away from this shit, right?
It's against the rules, according to them.
Right. It's against the rules according to them. It's against the rules for you to walk away from a rigged game.
Yeah, here's the thing. They never expected us to walk away either because a man's biology is so strong. The main thing that we want is women, and they never thought men would be like, you know what? Fuck it. It's not worth it. It's not worth my freedom. I think I'm done, because there's so much better things to life than just women, and they never thought that we would come to that conclusion.
See how I recapped before, because how men are so good at adapting to danger. We are able to, not a lot of us, but a good amount of us are able to override that urge and go to alternatives to release that urge.
You bring up a good point there. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Such as sex dolls, adult videos,
Yeah.
whatever it is. Hell, worst comes to worst, pay for it, right? Because that's an honest transaction. But
Yeetus, in your own personal opinion,
what's up?
Do you think that men are still good at adapting to that way, or do you think that's starting to falter?
I say that it is starting to falter unless more and more men are receiving our information, right? Because the information war is key, right? Because here's the thing, at least for many of us men out there, once we learn the truth and the truth is backed up by facts and things that he's seen in his personal life, like she's not yours, it's just your turn. She didn't want you for this, she wanted you for that. and then he thinks in his past experiences, like, oh fuck, he's right. Oh shit, my whole life's been a lie. Man can't
Yeah.
It's very difficult for a man to unlearn that, right?
Exactly.
So it's
Yeah.
I mean, I agree. Yeah, I mean, you're absolutely right. I mean, it's very difficult for a man to unlearn that. Just like they can get mad at you if you say something like, "Men are not getting married because women will not stay married," and then you bring up that 80% of the initiators of divorce are women. That's your proof.
Yep, that's why I always say the red pill rage is part of the process.
And lying, the numbers don't lie.
Exactly, the numbers don't lie. I mean,
It's crazy how the red pill is spreading too. Like, this is kind of good and bad. I had a dude at my work who just like I thought was like the most blue pill beta dude that I've ever seen. And he's like, I'm like dropping red pills because he's like talking about problems with a woman he's having. And then out of nowhere, he's like, oh, have you watched the Fresh and Fit podcast? I'm like, no, no. Because they're finding people like that instead of the people they need to be finding. You know what I mean? So
yeah, that's a bad thing as well, because grifters and PUAs and coaches, they ate that shit up with the red pill thing, right?
Yeah.
And you see them doing the same thing. If you guys want our courses, Fresh and Fit, they said this, you need to go online and pay extra to pay hourly to get our phone calls, and you need to donate, go to our Patreon and blah, blah, blah. Come on.
That's stupid. It's like buy my pheromone soap and get my buckets and bitches will love you and all that other dumb shit. It's just...
You know what?
Yeah, I told him instead of Fresh and Fit, he should watch Hammer Hand. So hopefully he takes my advice on that.
Yeah, that's okay. This does actually line up a bit with kind of how I got introduced into red pill kind of stuff. Because I'd heard of a bunch of the guys on the CME panel. Yeah, I knew some of their names from before.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd seen a variety of content before sifting out the bullshit. But I think that's where it's kind of useful to have these people, because they don't get quashed by the algorithm. But they do speak like the red pill truth. They disagree on the solutions, and they're trying to lead men back onto the plantation, but they do get basic red pill out in a way that a blue pillar will actually retain it out, rather than outright rejecting it.
So maybe it's like a door. It's not necessarily a healthy place to find.
Yeah, I think how it's going to go down, like which is kind of sad, is because I think people that are new are going to find people like Fresh and Fit and like the PUAs first, unfortunately. And then once they kind of like realize those guys are like bullshit, I think that's when they'll find like other people that they need to find.
Like, let's use John Anthony as an example. Like, okay, there's probably a bunch of guys who are just following John Anthony and then converted when Chronic tore him a new asshole.
Exactly. Realized the guy was a fucking scumbag, a habitual felon. He actually went to prison for kidnapping.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know how many people right now, when you're speaking about, red pill, pretty much just being mainstream, Ribby never proclaimed to be red pill nor MGTOW, right? Never did. And I respect that.
Outdated coach.
Yeah. And don't get me wrong, Ribby will give great advice, but he never proclaimed to be part of either or. Do you know how many people are going after him right now? Bigger content creators are going after Ribby right now.
Really?
Yeah. I think one thing
I don't know what Ribby's doing right, but he's finger blasting the shit out of that algorithm. So hopefully he keeps it up and hits 100,000 subs.
Yeah, they're getting pissed off. Like, who the fuck is this Ribby guy? Oh, he always making fun of women. Oh, what a disrespectful piece of shit incel. And these are from bigger content creators, not that mediocre. What's his name? Killa Skrilla, that motherfucker.
Simp Shrimp.
Yeah, that dude. There's people with 50,000 or more subscribers are not going after Ribby.
You bring up a very good point there too. That MGTOW and red pill, that does not make up the whole manosphere. You know what I'm saying?
I agree.
Exactly. I mean,
I love what you guys do, and you're not MGTOW, you're not Red Pill, but you're part of the manosphere. You're out here supporting men that are
Right.
yeah.
I speak on various topics that involve male issues, right? I
Uh-huh.
consider myself MGTOW, at least in the West, not around the world, but in
Okay.
the West, it's the game is too rigged. No, if I'm in a Western country, whether it's Europe, Canada, the U.S., etc.,
Mm-hmm.
don't talk to me. I ain't fuck with you. But if I go overseas, which I do plan on going back in the future,
Mm-hmm.
oh, it's game on. Because once again, with the old saying, over there, I'm celebrated as a masculine man. I'm celebrated. I don't have to pay for nothing or the crazy ass shit like that. No, I am myself, and the ladies appreciate it, right? That I'm actually able to have a good time. Don't get me wrong, I'm still red pill overseas, always
Sure.
red pill, because women are all the same. AWOL around the world, it's the environment, right? Because if you learn anything from the holy texts of what they've been telling us for thousands of years ago, their default setting, if they are not put in check, is self-destructive behavior.
Yeah. Slight side note: Turtle is trying to get back in. He says he's fixed the breathing issue.
Oh, okay. Let's bring him in right quick. Woo,
Gentlemen,
No more masturbation.
yeah, you good, Turtle?
my apologies, gentlemen.
Got me nervous. I was like, what the fuck? Keep telling me more about MGTOW. Yeah. Like, oh, hey, what's going on, Turtle?
You guys are spot on. I've been MGTOW monk since about 2017, 2018. It is about just backing out of the situation and just maintaining integration with society and picking and choosing your battles and how you discuss things with men on a personal level, whether it be at work or outside amongst your inner sphere.
Yeah.
I found, especially when it comes to somebody a red pill or in their stage, or you're just introducing it, it's just about spoon feeding some information and then actually gauging how you want that individual to kind of dip their toes into the atmosphere. Because if you just deluge with them and water hose or fire hose that information, they're going to bulk. They're going to kind of kick, to like a bad tasting medicine, because it's an affront to what's been fed to them by the information age.
Yeah, you got to be careful with that, because one of the biggest sayings that we have, we don't force this shit, but we're here when people show up.
Yeah.
And you got to be real careful when you're trying to, like you described, trying to spoon feed this stuff to people. I'm not even sure that that's a good idea.
No, I don't do it.
Why?
Yeah.
TFM put it best as, you want to be like the Amish and just be successful on your own, rather than being a Jehovah's Witness and knocking on people's doors.
Yeah.
Agreed.
That's a good.
Yeah, because if you come
That's
at them like a
very,
vegan, they're gonna hate you. Because that's why everybody hates vegans, because they don't shut the fuck up. So,
See, that's the funny part, right? Well, the MGTOW / Red Pill community, we're the opposite of Jehovah's Witnesses. We don't go out there to knock on the door. They knock on our door.
Yeah, they come.
well, yeah, there's a saying, we don't recruit, we let them come to us. And now if we bothered the shit out of them like vegans or Jehovah's Witness, they would just tell us to fuck off.
How dare you? How dare you say you like Puniti? All right, you are MGTOW for now on. All right, wear this robe and go to the highest mountain.
You're very correct in that, and I don't mean you just start going up to fellas and saying, "Hey, do you know about MGTOW?" What I'm getting at is usually the context is opened up. I notice you haven't been dating, or because people are, they can see, they can observe, and they'll ask a very surface level question. Have you been on any dates recently? Oh, that's just not something I feel that my value is best spent. And that kind of gives that engagement to kind of go in further. And what I meant by spoon feeding is kind of putting those small tidbits of information out and then just letting that conversation naturally flow from there. And I think that's the best to engage with the man, to kind of pique their interest. And then it gives you an opportunity to develop and set a nice pace for explanation without vitriol or drama or any of that.
Yeah, I get that. And I spent last night, I had a few drinks with two of my neighbors. And one is married. You know, there's children involved. They're out of the house. You know, they're old enough to where they don't have to live there. The other neighbor, he cohabitates, and he's got kids still in the house. One of the kids is not his. But anyway, you know, the amount of MGTOW content that comes out of these guys' mouths is just like, holy shit. And, you know, I just want to be like, man, you know, here's a link, you know, go to this, read this.
Yeah,
But
I would also say like MGTOW, like to normies that don't know any better, kind of has a bad rep too. Because like I got a friend who's basically MGTOW. He never wants to get married. He never wants to have kids. He basically has all the values of like MGTOW. And then when I first became MGTOW, I tried to tell him about it because I seen his values were similar. And then he tried to shame me for it. And I'm like, bro, you're basically a MGTOW. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like.
That's where you leave it alone, man. That's why you don't push it on people. That's why you don't bring it up. Mm-hmm. It's the healthiest way to come across MGTOW. You got to find it. You cannot put it on people.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's just pretty much the same way I do it. You know, I don't like when I'm in a truck yard. I don't really talk about it. You know, but some folks will ask the question and said, "You don't date?" I say, "No, I don't date." Why do you ask? They say, because, man, you this and that. I'm like, well, let me tell you something. And then they'll say, like, I put it to them another way. I don't chase tail. They say, you don't chase tail? I say, you heard what I said? I don't chase tail. Dogs chase tail, not men.
Exactly. I definitely agree. But I'm going to read this comment right quick. Warband had the right idea. What to reach people with MGTOW? Use cartoons and humor. See, here's the biggest thing, you know, talking about these philosophies and ideals, it doesn't have to be serious 100% of the time.
No.
Like, come on, because that will actually give out borderline incel vibes if I was the normie.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Let's be honest. We don't want
to make a really good point. We
don't want to make the same mistake that woke comic books have made, where it all becomes about preaching the message rather than telling good stories and entertaining people.
Exactly, right?
Speaking of woke comic books, didn't the vice president of Marvel get fired for inappropriate behavior?
Yeah, probably.
I don't know.
A bunch of
I was getting ready to say the same thing, Gray.
I know
just got rounded
comics
up
are getting so bad. There was a comic where it was either Batwoman or Batgirl. I can't remember. I get them all fucking confused. Joined like basically the equivalent to Antifa, and I'm like, what the fuck?
Oh god.
But you know, going back to the comment that Yeetus just read, you know, our response could simply be, "I just don't have time for these bitches right now." That's all you got to say.
Yeah, and that can be better as well. Because here's the thing, you know, when it comes to the Warband, we all see the goal is we don't want to be an echo chamber of saying the same shit over and over and over, right? Even though we are all in the same group of the Warband, we all have our own point of view when it comes to societal issues, right? And we all got different ways of putting out the message, right? I'm the serious person of the Warband that do live streams. Ribby and Rishi, they're the comedic ones. They're the funny ones. Undead Chronic, he's all of us pretty much combined, right? He could be serious, hilarious, and he's able to give out very good information in the span of the second. See, here's the biggest thing. People really think people in the Warband are non-educated solely because we don't have the incel like serious vibes, like, oh yeah, we need to deal with this expeditiously because this situation is preposterous and all these loophole, like using all these big professional words and, you know, just being all dark and grim. No. Yeah. And people are saying that, you know, Ribby and Chronic sounds like like jocks or what's it called? The
I
frat
heard him say
boys.
frat boys. Yeah.
Yeah, frat boys. But believe it or not, we are very educated. We just don't want to get to the point where some members of our audience can't really keep up or understand what we're saying.
Bro, the people that are really listening, we know that you guys are educated. We know that you're not stupid. And
Thank
at the
you.
same time, I think we got to be creative with keeping some repetition going to always be inviting to the new people coming in. You know what I mean? It's because these guys are constantly showing up.
Yes, and a lot of them are using our lingo, even in certain places that aren't red pill or MGTOW. You got people ripping off our verbiage and our lingo.
Right. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
And
exactly. Just like I saw the image consultant a few like a month ago, calling people trollops. I'm like, you fucking thief.
See,
He's
that's a
watching
big
you,
thing.
Lion.
Yeah.
That's a big. Well, the point of what I'm saying is right. There's various people that are watching our stuff, and the fact that Underchronic created a group where some people can watch Riker's channel or can watch Ribby's channel or my channel, or like it's a perfect idea to not only get the Warband ideals out there, but also Red Pill, MGTOW, or anything else that deals with male issues. That's why we are getting bigger by the day.
And, that is actually
autopilot.
That's actually something that's kind of funny when you think about it. Is that the Warband? I don't think I've seen anything like it anywhere else in the MGTOW circles or Red Pill circles in general.
Amen. Yeah.
Well, yeah, basically how I view the Warband, it's just like a combination of like MGTOW, Red Pill, and men's issues, like you said, Yeetus. And, that's why like a lot of people, like you have Red Pill people, MGTOW, like, there's a bunch of groups that watch it because all of them can kind of relate. You know what I mean?
Yes. And
I think it's on a whole different level. Yeah.
I got something to add to this.
What's up?
As we have spaces like this on the internet, I provide a space similar in the outside world. Specifically in spring and summer, I invite men out for motorcycle rides. So generally, it's a unique group of men that have, need obviously have, the license and the equipment, the motorcycle. But generally, I don't allow women to be a part of that, either as a passenger.
You shouldn't. You should
right.
Not.
But it's basically a microcosm of an actual space for men to engage in conversation, but do something fun, and you're not enhanced on this main subject matter. So you're allowed to interact naturally and allow that type of conversation to engage. Now, the topic is not MGTOW, but when men of various backgrounds and degrees of background have that opportunity to express themselves and to just kind of let the guard and the shield down and to be more open. And sometimes that's much more cathartic or therapeutic than a lot of stuff, even if it's on the internet.
See, the thing is, and I explained also in my recent live streams, when you add a woman to the mix, the entire dynamic changes, and especially for the worse, because once again, it's like barbershop talk, and then all of a sudden a single mother brings his kid in there. We all gotta change how the content of the conversation and how we talk about it. On top of that, what if she's actually attractive, not ugly? Now there's men acting out of line, out of character, just to impress the chick, and then all of a sudden there's infighting on who gets to her first. It's just horrible.
Well, it's kind of like on the weekends, I do a personal training at my gym, and dude, I refuse to work with the women unless they absolutely make me. For one, they don't fucking listen worth shit, and two, they normally end up trying to like sleep with me, and I'm like, I'm not trying to get in trouble for that.
Exactly. I don't see how my friend does it. Got a friend who's a professional bodybuilder. Like a lot of women come to him for advice and even get him to training from him, but I'm like, I don't see how he does it. I'm like, man,
Dude, I've
completely forgot to
had
talk about that
girls
shit.
try to like hang out and hook up after a training session. Like,
Yeah.
oh god, oh man, see, and it proves
Island
our
Hermit.
point. And it proves our point that
What's up?
the gym is a new nightclub.
Yeah, I will be talking
Yeah.
about that line in MGTOW tomorrow. I was going
And
to talk about it today.
the gym is the new nightclub, dude. Because like, I can't tell you like how much shit I've seen.
Hold up. We'll save that for tomorrow.
All
We'll
right,
save it for tomorrow.
I'll call in
losing
for that
content.
one because I got a lot of experience for that.
But in all seriousness, though, that's why the information war is very important, right? Because the battle of the ideologies is crucial right now. And people are saying, "Oh, MGTOW Red Pill ain't doing nothing. They ain't doing nothing." But see, here's the thing: our group has only been around for only 8 years. That they had over 100 years, or even more than that, to get to this point.
And control of all major news feeds on top of that.
Exactly.
It's been around for a long time. It's just now, and like you said, maybe in the last 8 to 10 years, it has actually earned a title.
Yep, and I do believe it's just going to get bigger from there.
Yep,
because
Me
the
too.
more that you try to cut out a man's tongue, it's just going to motivate him even more.
Yep.
Okay. Yep. And I got to head to the gym, but before I leave, I'm gonna go ahead and hit you with this classic red pill that was on my first channel. So check this out. This is from the book of Criminal Justice and Behavior, volume 14, page 403-26 in 1978. 80% of the grapists motivated with displaced anger came from single mother households.
Yep. The majority of men in jail came from where?
Single mother households.
Yep. The homelessness that's happening, and on top of the not only just grape but other violent crimes that happens in the United States, they also came from single mother households.
Yep.
So
all of that shit comes from there.
I get so much shit when I say that single mothers are the bane of society.
Well, bro, you're going to get shit. Some people just can't handle the truth.
The anti-civilization equation. That's why I call it that.
It's like that one show.
It just creates chaos.
Right. It's like that one show, the Andre show, right? Where who's the black dude? He was getting booed, and he's like, "Why are you booing me? I'm right." Like, why are you booing me for? Like, what the? Hold up! Like, look around you. Like,
yeah.
Of course, anytime you put any type of reality or challenge their delusional like mindset, the only thing that they can do is just lash out. Like, you guys saw the recent video that Underchronic did, right?
Which one?
He put out the news where.
Oh, I know which one you're talking about. The boobs one.
Yeah. Where she like went like EXE, like brains not working type shit. When he said something that wasn't part of the narrative, right? She's like, as a woman, see, here's the thing. If you say as a woman, you automatically should be ignored.
Now, although this is actually a bit of a jumping point to what Hermit mentioned earlier about the guys who talk about how valuable looks are, but then don't take any effort to improve it.
And we will talk about that as well. And I am pushing to have you, Island Hermit, and Pete on. It will be Black Pill Part 4.
Ooh, all right. I'm
sweet.
Geez, yeah, no, I got a particular book I got to study up on and get some notes then.
Yeah, and when it comes to the gym being the new hookup scene, like I got a lot of experience since, I work in a gym on the weekends. I go there 6 days a week, so I've seen a lot of shit when it comes to the gym, dude. I smash a lot of girls in the gym too. So.
Exactly. And once you get older, because once again, it's all about biological imperative, because as a man, once you reach, I'll say between
I'd say about mid. Oh, go ahead.
Well, I mean, like when a man's like raging with testosterone.
Yeah.
Like it's
I'd say 16 to 24.
Yeah. I say around there. Nothing is in your mind besides getting puniti. Like
The drive.
you just can't. As like you have to be red pilled very early for you to control your urges, but most men are not. So they are just fiending for that puniti, right? But after past 24, when you reach your your mid to late 20s, it's like, it's nice and all, but it's not really needed. What the fuck?
I think it's also the continual exposure and dealing with women in your 20s, your teens and 20s, and that testosterone begins to edge and you start heading towards your 30s, you're starting to be able to, see the patterns, connect the dots, and you're able to start controlling your own urges and kind of making that balance.
Exactly. Once you reach that age, it's like, you know what? Yeah, puniti's nice, but I'm not gonna.
It's not a necessity.
Yeah, all right, I'm gonna do my own thing over here.
and that's one of the messages I try to put out to men around me. It's like they're not a necessity to the component of you surviving or adapting to life. There's more to it than just women.
Besides creating the family, they really have no impact in your life when it comes to finding your purpose and finding your happiness. Okay.
If it's
besides
okay with
besides your mother, because you're stuck with her for the rest of your life, right? Unless she's a bitch.
Oh, the rest of her life anyway.
Yeah, she's stuck with you. But every other woman, it's just like, yeah, I'm gonna do my own thing, and the fact that you are doing things on your own and you don't have to worry about all the madness that's happening in the West, I guarantee you will eventually find your peace, your purpose. Hell, it might take 5, 10, 15, 20. Hell, some men, they feel like they find their purpose in their mid to late 40s.
Yeah.
Okay. But your peace and your happiness, it will happen immediately, in my opinion, right? Even if it's situational. You will, once you just you know what? I don't need this drama. I don't have to go out to the clubs. I don't have to go to the strip clubs. I don't have to go to the gym, being surrounded by chatty little fucking harpies. And there goes me just chilling in my living room, right? Watching a nice ass documentary, drinking a cold one. And that's the big thing, right? Women are so envious and pissed off at men on how easy we can be happy without them.
Right? Yes.
Yep. It doesn't take a lot for a man to be happy. I live a very simple, minimalistic life, and I've never been happier.
Never been happier, right?
We can turn them off like a switch.
I would like to add to that. I think.
Well, what's up?
Us men, we seem to have more hobbies, and we tend to have a greater amount of interest. Whether we gain more in depthness from that, but I've noticed that women, they don't operate in that same scale.
Women don't have hobbies. They don't have hobbies unless men are involved.
They really don't have hobbies. Gray's right.
But that's the big thing, right? They can't comprehend how men can actually bring a 48 case, well, let's say a 24 case, however much they drink beer, out into the middle of a fucking lake, right? They can take it out to a middle of a fucking lake from 7, 8 a.m. in the morning until 5, 6 o'clock at night. Literally sitting there in silence, talking once in a while, fishing, just loving life, just sitting there
at peace.
Yep.
Just chilling.
I remember I had a group of friends. We'd go out fishing, drinking beer all the time. And 2 of them were married. They had to call and check in with their wives all the time because their wives were always blowing up their phone. When are you going to be home? What are you doing? We don't like you going out fishing. Like, shut up.
Yeah, that pissed me off, right? A couple times, one of my homeboys was like, oh, hey, I got to head back, bro. I'm like, why? What the fuck? What do you mean?
Hermit, at one point in time, I had that place in my own fucking backyard. I had 6 1/4 acres of beautiful country property. I had an 1.5 acre pond that had the best fishing that you could ever ask for, just to walk out your door and do it. And even when I went outside to do that, I got bitched at.
And one more thing. See, I'm repeating this, but I think this message is important. It goes from a societal scale where men are walking away on a massive scale, all the way down to your personal life, where anytime a group of men get together, well, and it could be in the basement, right? Literally in the corner of the basement, just fucking chilling, watching TV downstairs, drinking beer, having a good time. Your group of your homeboys, the wives or the girlfriends, always, even when you tell them don't come downstairs, they still come downstairs and be fucking nosy. Because
with that being said, I'd like to go back to the gentleman that was talking about the motorcycle group that he had.
Oh, yes. What's up?
And I've tried to, I've looked up like meetups and things like that, but I just don't see something like that working. But
no, like they can ride along in the sense of like, they're just along in the sense of, how do I explain it? They're just there, they're like, I don't know how to explain it.
What do you mean you don't see it working?
Because I do see bikers that usually bring, a girl that they're chilling with, right? But the girls are usually just doing their own thing somewhere in an event or at a bar, right?
Sure. I'm not necessarily talking about like motorcycles.
Well, I thought you were talking about the event in general.
No.
What are you talking about?
But in general, the gentleman that I was speaking to, that that he organized the motorcycle meetups.
Yeah.
It would take social media, things like that, and I've met one person, and this guy, he's the owner of a liquor store, a local liquor store, and he goes to church, and his church sounds pretty old school. And they actually have a men's group.
Right.
And he meets with them once a week. I don't know. I guess I'm just bouncing this around.
I guess the question, are you asking me how do I get it to work, or what do I do, or the steps that I take to get that to happen?
Yes, I'm saying that I would like to achieve something like that.
Well, I don't use like meetup.com. I don't use any of those social aspects. Mine is a more natural. This has been years in the making, where I invite people and say, hey, we're meeting up at 8:00 or 9:30 at a cafe. An hour early. I've got organized routes, and I just throw out the invitation. And I just go, hey, this is a men's only thing. It's for you to get away and just kind of relax for that moment. That's all I tell them. That's all I say.
And that's getting traction?
It does get traction because it's an opportunity for men, and the men that don't or feel that they can't acquiesce to that limit, they don't come anyways. But the ones that do are more open to that. And when you say this is just for us to enjoy a few hours and just let our hair down, to use a cliche term, it resonates.
Okay, I see what you're saying now. All right. I went off a little bit too early. When it comes to, men only groups are able to get away from their bullshit in life, whether it's family, work, or wherever it is.
Right.
Is to come meet with like-minded people and actually, discuss some stuff and have a good time.
Yeah. I don't do the whole MGTOW and this is a red pill, facility meeting. This is
just a bunch of men.
Yeah. Why don't you come on over? Because there's guys who are married. They're, it's not an affront to me being a MGTOW monk. I don't throw it in their face, but the transition of information interaction can be done naturally without, the Jehovah's Witness type of scenario. And it works.
Now with that being said, and
Angler, is this the last question? Because we got to go.
I'm sorry, man. I'll shut up.
We'll finish the conversation tomorrow if you want. I'll be on tomorrow. Too easy.
Okay. I just
what'd you say?
No.
What time are you going to stream tomorrow, Yeet?
Around the same time or 6:00.
All right. Sounds good.
6 o'clock Central Time. So if you're Eastern Time or whatever, that's like 7 p.m. And
Yeah,
if
I
you're
think I'm Eastern. I'm in Michigan, so
okay. Thank you all for joining this stream. Go over to our Necrotic stream right now because it's gonna be pretty hilarious.
Thank you.
Thanks for
got a
having me.
hater on or what?
I'm hoping. I'm really hoping that any hater shows up. I really am. But it's gonna be a good conversation though, nonetheless.
Cool.
Yeet. Thanks for having me.
No problem, man. Hey, anybody can join if you want to have a good conversation. See, this is the main point I do live streams because I can preach all day about my ideals, but if we don't discuss it or somebody at least challenge it, there's no point in me doing this.
Yeah,
So,
that's the one thing I like about your channel, Yeetus, is like-minded guys like us, we can get together, we can talk about ideas. So that's why I like calling in and talking to everybody. So
exactly.
I
I'm not that
appreciate it,
drunk.
man.
I'm really new to being in on these streams. This is like my fourth one. I've been in on like two of Good Mothers, and this is the second one of Yeetus's. And
Hell yeah.
it's,
Also, I got a funny story really fast,
nice.
and then I got to take off. I got a bunch of stuff to do before my live stream tonight, but
okay, yeah,
so-
pretty quick because I gotta go.
back to the ghosting thing. It's funny as hell because I remember in the summertime I had this girl on Tinder, and we had plans to hang out, and I'm like, "Oh, are you gonna get all ready for me?" I got her all dressed up and shit, and she sent me pictures, and then I blocked her on everything, dude. So she was probably crying.
Hey, that's her fault. She knows the consequences of sending those type of pictures. That's on her.
I
Dang
made
it.
sure she got super ready, and she was all excited. Then I'm like, block. Fuck you, bitch.
But hey, thank you all for joining and go head over to Chronic Stream.
All right,
All
thank
right.
you.
See you
See
later.
you
All right.
guys.
Peace
Take
out.
care.
Bye, y'all.
Unity.
All right, this is your boy, Sir Yeetus, the one and only. This is why the information war is going to last a long time. When I say a long time, I mean for decades. All right. Expect a part 2 in the future on this because we definitely are not done talking about how this information war is going and how it's going to affect us in the long run in the future. Thank you for joining. This is Sir Yeetus. Thank you for everybody that donated to my Cash App. I got Mr. Pliskin, thank you very much for your donation. And somebody that's called Harry, that's his first name, I think, or last name, who knows. Thank you very much for your generous donation. Thank you very much. I switched to Cash App, y'all. I don't do PayPal anymore. Here, I believe it's better for you to donate. Cash App is better because your information isn't out there. Thank you for joining. This is Sir Yeetus. Hopefully, you guys have the daily dose of red pills. And go to Undead Chronics channel right now. I am out. Peace.